devil horns. Swimming.
You're power, bro. Ooh, what? One more, bro. That wear off.
Get it. Push it back. 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 Yeah, that's it. Oh, dude, no hands? No hands. Schaub's got no hands.
I'm sweating.
The Joe Rogan Experience has become so unironically entertaining that it's almost ironic. Here we have the latest fight companion with Bryan Callen, the washed-up Hollywood extra who knows nothing about fighting, Brian Simpson, a comedy mothership regular who also knows nothing about fighting, and Brandon Schaub, the former UFC power bottom who is known for having the most dogshit takes on fighting on the internet. But don't forget Rogan himself. Not only is he notorious for not getting jokes, but that's now become the funniest thing he's ever done. Every now and then, Grumpy Joe will rear his shiny head and create some of the most awkward moments for absolutely no reason. So we'll get to Grumpy Joe later on because we're basically at the point now where his whole podcast is a giant meme, especially these fight companions with Schaub and Callen. Brendan sits there for 3 hours being almost completely incoherent while Brian fishes for viral moments by trying to troll Rogan, except it almost always goes over his head because he takes Brian so literally. I want to start with Brandon though. It's so nice of Jamie to disable the live chat whenever Bupper's on a live stream, but that didn't stop people ragging on him after the stream ended in the comment section. What does Brian and Brenda have on Joe that makes him constantly invite them? Why in the hell does he still have Callen and Schaub on here? I look down on whoever puts a mic in front of Schaub. Bupper just agreeing with everything Joe says is the funniest shit ever. Brendan has that microphone really close. If he isn't careful and it touches his chin, he'll end up on the floor doing the upside down tortoise. I hope Brendan isn't nervous being on a podcast that will eventually get more than 50,000 views. Schaub casually ingesting 40 milligrams of nicotine, then lighting a cigar and talking about nootropics is crazy. Yeah, this guy is on so much shit, it's getting scary. I mean, the amount of cope this guy is dealing with on a day-to-day basis is sending him into a spiral of substance abuse, from smelling salts to nicotine to kratom, even PEDs.
I'll tell you what, that wakes you up before a show. We have them in the green room. We pop a little sniff before you go on stage.
Oh, I leave in my garage every morning before I get out, head to work.
That
really?
Hit the car, dog. Oh, yeah.
Damn,
I got problems,
you're all
bro.
in. Yeah. Have you had these? The Lucy's, the Breakers?
No.
Oh, these are good.
Man,
They're 8s.
You know, people are
They're
constantly
8s.
sending us.
Same thing.
Lucy's have 8s, and they have like a little mint thing in it.
So I got 24
This
right
is
now.
their
You
highest
got
one.
24?
24.
How many do you have in there?
4?
His blood pressure is very high.
No, it's good.
You have 24 milligrams in your mouth?
Oh,
He's a
yeah.
maniac.
I go through 2 cans a day, dog.
What are you using? Which one?
Black Buffalo.
Oh, my God.
You push the envelope.
Yeah, that's not even an envelope anymore.
Well,
you got a satchel
The
filled with
directions say
envelopes.
the directions say to keep it a foot away from your face.
Shut the up, pussy.
Hand me the Lucy, man. One ain't gonna do it for a trial here. Thank you.
I think there's one more in there.
This is the same flavor
Yeah.
you gave me. You don't want. You
But
ever
you
mix
already
them?
have 24?
Yeah.
That's the same flavor.
I took the 24 out because
Okay.
I don't mix flavors.
Well, now you get 16. So you'll have 2 of those. It'll be 16.
To see if your heart will stop.
Yeah,
Nah, man.
Lucy's are for people who are tired. But I like it better than Zyn, a lot better. Because Zyn gives you this weird flavor in your mouth. And
The
it makes you
toxic
hiccup.
flavor, yeah.
It doesn't seem good.
So how long have you been doing nicotine?
Like a year.
Why? Because it's good for your brain?
Fires you up, man. It's good as like a nootropic. It actually helps your brain. It helps
Yeah.
cognitive performance. The real problem is cigarettes. Cigarettes are not
Correct.
good.
But the
Yeah.
nicotine's
Smoking.
actually good for your brain.
A lot of great books were written on cigarettes.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Yeah, nicotine's great.
Yeah, nicotine's great, Bupper. It's also one of the most addictive substances known to mankind. But these guys never let the bro science get in the way of a good plug. Did you hear Rogan there referencing nootropics as being beneficial for cognitive function? Meanwhile, the company that he developed Alpha Brain with is being sued for making misleading and false statements in their advertising and marketing. The first time around in California, they managed to settle the lawsuit, but this time around in New York is proving to be a little bit more difficult. If you want all the juicy details from the court filings as well as a breakdown of the study they used to make their false claims, go and check out the link below in the description to my Patreon, where I'm providing ongoing coverage of the lawsuit as well as a bunch of other stuff. Basically, though, there's a class action in New York claiming that the study they used did not reach the conclusions around cognitive improvements that they have been claiming for years. But Joe doesn't let that stop him when it comes to promoting non-FDA approved products on his podcast.
Do you want one of these? You want a Lucy?
Yeah, let me spit this thing out. Renegade Rogue. Thank you. Do you know the Zen-spiracy? Do you know about this? We're all being accused of secretly being sponsored by Zen.
Yeah.
It's the funniest shit. Okay, watch this. This is crazy.
Okay, so maybe my Zinspiracy has been debunked, but now they've moved on to Lucy's, which isn't a conspiracy because they've been sending boxes of their product to podcasters. Remember this?
We are back. I got to tell you, there's this thing that happened over the last few months, which is that everybody has discovered the wonder of just nicotine straight to the system.
Let me tell you, I didn't know where you're going with this. If I could invest in anything, and we just know we launched vodka.
Yeah.
I wish we had put it in big tobacco.
Love it. Here's the thing. This
is not an ad. This is not an ad.
No.
By the way, this is organic. You know we love nicotine. And by the way, this might be a sponsor because they sent us this fucking box.
Yeah.
And this box made my dick harder than anything in the world.
I know, because there's so many flavors, and these geniuses came up with the
breakers.
Do you guys remember when podcasts weren't 1 hour long infomercials? Anyway, let's get back to our boy Crinjo Puppy, because nicotine pouches aren't the only thing stopping him from flipping his TRX. Oh no, wait, never mind.
You know, I f with now, and like I'm in probably the best shape since I fought is that Transcend, where it's like peptides, TRT.
What's Transcend? Is it a company?
It's a company, and you do your blood work like probably at least every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, and they monitor everything. All right, you should be taking this, and this, and it's a script plan. They send it to you.
Oh, nice.
You just start taking everything, then they check your blood work. Like that's what Cowboy's on, Bradley Martin, like all the
Ways to Well's exactly.
I've never felt better. I've never felt better.
Oh yeah, plenty of peptides.
They have stuff for your cognitive, like for me, I need my fucking brain to get after getting punched. So cognitive, energy, everything.
Yeah, peptides are incredible. Yeah, that's why they keep outlawing them.
I'm a guinea pig. I shoot myself about 7 times a day, but whatever.
As long as you feel good.
Oh yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Okay, why is Brendan using PEDs? He's a 41-year-old retired semi-professional athlete who stuffs his face with nicotine pouches and mumbles into a microphone for a living.
Because remember, in the UFC, he wasn't a huge name. He was fun to watch. We didn't have like a great record. And we're like, all right, he's fun, but he's not going to be world champ. Leaves, so I'm going to do bare knuckle. It's such a fun story, dude.
Bro, you got so many pouches in your mouth, you sound like a squirrel.
He's like a squirrel over there. I knew you were going to say something. Because as I was talking, you go, yeah. And you wait for him to finish, you go, bro.
Old squirrel Schaub over there.
Squirrel shop.
What are we doing here, B? But seriously, why is Schaub on PEDs? Why are any of these guys on TRT and HGH and everything else they can get a doctor to prescribe them? Is it so they can perform better on stage or in the podcast studio? Maybe it's so they can perform better in bed. Let's see if Brandon can explain.
But you know what's always interesting to me is when guys are, when talking about, Armageddon, like, the day's coming, but they don't run. Their cardio's not very good.
He's got bad knees, actually.
That's why I run. Yeah. I run all the time now. If shit pops off, you gotta be able to run.
Well, somebody said that. Yeah, and somebody said
no one thinks about that.
Yeah.
Another
guy.
I was hanging out with this truck guy, and he has like a whole bunker for the Armageddon Doomsday. What are you gonna do, bro? He's like, and then we get in the mountains. I'm like, how? Have you ever jogged up there, pal?
Can you even walk?
Yeah,
mountains?
You ever tried carrying 80 pounds up mountains?
You ain't getting to those mountains. Son.
Nah, but I'm gonna get to the mountains. I'm gonna take your gear and run up. I'll meet you up there.
Well, how much are you running?
3 miles a day usually.
When did you start doing this?
About 4 months ago. I started with 3 miles, then I went to 2, then I did a mile as fast as I can.
That's crazy. Why didn't you do the 5K, the 2 Bears 5K?
I don't know. They invited me to. I forgot.
CD.
Straight up forgot.
I had no.
I didn't know until I saw a picture of Jelly Roll doing it.
I used to run 3 miles for breakfast. I was struggling so hard.
Oh, come on, guys. Did Tom and Bert seriously forget to invite Bappa to their bear run? He's been training for it and everything. Hang on, can we just stop for a moment and appreciate what just happened? Here's my read on this, okay? Brendan knew that the 2 Bears 5-kilometer run was coming up because Tom and Bert started promoting it several months back. Schaub said he started running 3 miles a day a few months ago, which is 4.8 kilometers, so almost 5Ks. Clearly, he was training for it and hoping for an invite at the last minute so he could rock up and put in a solid performance-enhanced effort and then claim that he hadn't trained for it at all. Now, I know I just made that up completely. I don't have 300 pages of evidence or anything like that, but come on, guys. Bappa starts doing 4.8 kilometer runs every day right after Tom and Bert announce a 5K bear run. Yeah, Armageddon my ass. But hey, we should acknowledge just before we move on that Brandon's apocalypse joke was actually pretty funny. No? Okay, maybe not. Tough crowd. And speaking of tough crowds, Bryan Callen just couldn't get anything to land with Rogan.
Nico allude to the fact that he's always partying, like hanging out all the time.
That Hosseinzadeh is?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, Hosseinzadeh's got a lot of bread, bro.
He does?
He's got a lot of money. Yeah.
How's
yeah.
that?
He's hanging out with some people that have a lot of money.
And the same people Khabib's hanging out with. You ever seen what Khabib has?
Yeah, he's got
Have you
some
ever looked
money.
at the land he owns in Russia?
Well, when you're friends with Putin,
They take care of their athletes, especially if they're fighting.
Yeah.
Bro.
Well, Hosseinzadeh is friends with that Kardyev guy, the guy who's the
Yes.
leader of Chechnya.
yeah, he
he'll
won
kill
a
you.
Nobel Peace Prize.
He'll kill
Did
you.
he really?
No, he did not. No,
I was like,
he's-
what the f*** are
no,
you talking about?
He's
Can I
not.
get that letter?
He is not. He's a warlord.
Joe, on what planet is the head of the Chechen Republic getting a Nobel Peace Prize? But as always, it got worse. Guests trolling Rogan has to be one of my favorite dynamics on JRE, and Callen is one of the best at doing it because he's been going at it for so many years.
I love that Francis made a ton of money. I love that he dropped Tyson Fury. I do not love the Joshua fight. That was sad. Watching him getting KO'd like that against Anthony Joshua, I was like, ooh.
Tough.
He's like, you're just fighting one of the best boxers that's ever competed at heavyweight, who's a knockout puncher, who really knows how to box, who's an Olympic gold medalist, and you've had one boxing
Correct.
fight.
One.
He also might have had an incentive to keep that fight going for a long time. I'm not saying anything, but
What?
Yeah, I said it.
Who?
Mike Tyson Fury.
Shut the f*** up.
He may have had an
You're
incentive.
ridiculous.
No, I'm
you're,
not.
you're so wrong.
No, I'm not.
There's not a chance in hell that Tyson Fury carried him.
Huh.
Are you
He was
suggesting
terrified
that
of his
Gypsies
power.
Was up
He
to
got
something?
dropped
No.
with a furious
Wrong.
left hook in the
No.
left round. He got rocked in the 8th round.
No.
Bro, it's the same thing that you see in the Usyk fight. He's not all there anymore. Those fights with Deontay Wilder took
Changed
something
him.
out of him. 100%.
Especially for somebody that started boxing late in life.
I think
He started when he was 23.
I don't
bro.
think. I
And he-
think.
and
I
he's a
still think
bronze
that
medal winner
Tyson
in
Fury
the
fight
Olympics at 23.
With,
Did you not hear him talking?
Yeah, but I'm just saying. I'm
Interesting.
finishing my thought.
Yeah, but
Because-
you're finishing your thought while he's talking. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, but
Could be.
we were already having our conversation, and then you moved on. I'm saying that the idea that Tyson Fury didn't have a bag of tricks and he didn't carry him, for me, it's very strange to me. It's very strange. I don't know. Maybe he
looked
didn't
fat.
train at all.
He's one of the greatest heavyweights of all time, for sure. But he's also fighting a mountain of a man with insane physical abilities that caught him with a vicious left hook in the 2nd round. If he was carrying that dude, all that shit would be out the window after you get dropped and rocked like that.
Oh, goddamn.
So clearly, Callen was just talking shit, and once he saw Rogan take the bait, he went in for a second helping, but Grumpy Joe takes everything so literally these days that he kept shutting it down. And it bothered him so much that he even brought it up again later on when Callen brought up Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake wasn't selling well in his concert. Do you hear this? That's what they were
Hey,
talking
man,
You
that
think
has
that's
nothing
why
to
he
do
got
with this.
arrested for drink driving?
I don't know. That's that conspiracy, right?
You're a conspiracy
Didn't he
theorist.
switch to like country
You believe
music?
that Tyson Fury carried Francis
I do.
Ngannou?
I actually do believe
You're a
that.
ridiculous person.
No, I think he got paid for it, too.
Volkov has to stay on his toes.
Yeah, you could tell Rogan was coping hard. It reminded me of Callen's all-time best failed troll on Rogan from way back in the old JRE days, where he played the tough guy saying he could beat up anyone that tried to bully him.
You know what happened to me? I got bullied for a full year, and it turned me into a f***ing, if somebody tried to bully me, I'll show up at your f***ing house and kill you. That's what happens. I get so angry.
I'm not buying that even remotely.
I hate when
Hey,
That's
bro,
not true.
You bully me.
If I
You know what
you
your
try
problem
bullying me
is,
right
bro?
now,
You know
motherfucker.
what the problem is?
Hold on, let me
Here's
handle
your
this.
problem. Here's your
Yeah.
problem. You've talked to too many guys that let you say shit like
agree.
that, and then it becomes like vernacular. When I first met you, all those
Yeah.
people you used to hang around with,
Yeah.
those are all toxic, and they've ruined the way you're allowed to communicate with people.
No. It's true.
Because they
No.
said stupid shit, and then you said
If
stupid shit, and
somebody
it was
fucks with
okay.
me, bro, look at how what do you have to say to me?
Bro, I watched.
Clearly, Callen was taking the piss and trying to wind up Rogan, but Grumpy Joe came out and started lecturing him. You could tell just from the look on Brenda's face that he knew it was a joke. They probably planned it in advance. Brian actually explained that it was a bit last year when he had Adam 22 on the Fighter and the Kid podcast.
No, do you remember that when I was going to go?
How long ago?
I was going.
How long ago?
I was about to. It was a long
probably
time ago.
5 years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah,
so many
more.
of them.
And I was about to go like this. I was about to go. Yeah, and I was going to go. And I'll tell you something else. You come at me. You better come at me correct. I was going to joke around with you.
Yeah.
And he thought I was being tough.
Yeah, so you'd think after all these years, Rogan would have finally realized that Callen's just fucking with him, but Joe's having none of it, and there's an interesting dynamic to their whole relationship. Recently, on episode 1000 of The Fighter and the Kid, Schaub and Callen advertised that they were going to have the people on the show who helped make it all happen and were there from the start. So naturally, everybody thought that Rogan would make an appearance, especially given that he was the one who encouraged Brendan to quit fighting and move into podcasting and stand-up comedy. But not only did they have no guests in the studio, Rogan didn't even call in to congratulate them, which raised some eyebrows. The amount of cope in this next clip is off the charts.
The last two are questions that I just got from so many people that we're going to generalize them. The first one is, why has Joe never been on the show?
Good question.
He's been on. He called in when we were at Fox.
He's never been on the show.
He called in.
Yeah.
As far as in person,
Actually,
never.
the podcast where he told you to stop fighting was actually our podcast.
That's a Fire and the Kid, but it was at Joe Rogan's studio, so I wouldn't say he's on the show. Outside Theo, we did a pretty good job booking the people that made the show through all the years. But again, we didn't think about Rogan because he's never been on the show.
Yeah.
But it's different because also Rogan, a lot of way we got views is we're on Rogan so many times, so it like cross-pollinated.
We're about to be on him again.
Yeah, next Saturday we're back on, so like
Yeah,
we didn't
he's-
even ask Rogan.
No.
Never. He's always been the most famous guy in the room, so I just don't feel comfortable asking for anything. We've never asked him
Yeah,
to be on the
because
show.
everybody asks Joe.
Yeah.
We're his friends.
It makes me feel
so I don't
weird.
want to be the one to ask him
Never.
for anything.
Never.
Like, he gets asked for everything. Even when I called him and I want to bring my nephew to the fight, to the Conor McGregor, Chandler fight. But other than that, I don't even ask him for that.
See, well, you did ask him for that.
No,
right?
I asked him that, but
Yeah,
I'm
see,
saying,
I wouldn't even ask him for that. I would rather pay and not ask him.
Yes.
I would have paid and he'd be like, you're here? I'm like, yeah. Should ask him. Like, it's just not, I don't feel comfortable doing it. Like, even close people around him, ask him.
Remember that?
They have to ask
I
him for
called
something
him. I
or
called him
they
the next
need
day.
something from him.
Yeah.
And it made me feel sick. And I called him to him, like, do I feel bad for you, dude?
Yeah.
He's like, don't feel bad for me.
He goes, it's fine.
He's like, it's fine.
It's like, man,
he knows
dude, it's an agenda. Everybody has a fucking agenda.
everyone's pitching him shit doing. So it's like, I've legit
Every gift he receives.
I've never asked him I've never asked to be on his show.
No.
I've never asked him to come on this show. Nothing. I'll ask him for advice.
I asked him if I could do the podcast one time because I wanted to promote my special, Man Tears. And I think it was Complicated Apes, I think. It was a long time ago. And that's it. I was doing a press tour, so I was like, hey, can I come on? But
Never
he would have
asked
said
him.
yes anyway, didn't he?
Yeah, so the real reason they never asked him to come on the podcast is because they know he'll turn them down. Rogan rarely goes on other people's podcasts though, which is really strange. I also find it strange that instead of going to their studios, he'll let them do an episode of their podcast in his studio. I don't know if he's just lazy or he thinks he's helping them out. Maybe he wants to stay hiding behind his massive Mike Tyson desk and avoid any full-body shots. I don't know. This whole podcast world is so weird. They've all basically turned into lolcows at this point, and the ironic thing is that their shows are the most entertaining that they've ever been. Seeing four middle-aged men jumping around, sniffing out of a bottle, stuffing their faces with pouches, and not getting each other's jokes is peak entertainment in 2024, and I'm here for it. We're in a post-entertainment world now where it's just a bunch of clown shows on repeat. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this breakdown of the latest JRE Fight Companion. If you want to see some of my uncensored content, head over to my Patreon, where I just dropped the first part in a 3-part series on Tony Hinchcliffe and Kill Tony. Otherwise, if you're not a regular of this channel yet, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you ended up enjoying this video. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.
This is a very good fight.
Hey man, give me some of those smelling salts.
Oh, let's go.
Man.